Welcome back to the Essentially You podcast, all about reinventing your health with safer, cheaper, more effective natural solutions and powerful lifestyle changes so that you become the CEO of your health. I am your host, Dr. Mariza Snyder. Today is a very special day, and I am so excited to share it with you. It is officially the 1-year anniversary this week of the Essentially You podcast, and wow, what an incredible year it has been. Now, as a fun way of celebrating this year with you today, I am going to be dropping the top 10 episodes of the entire year out of the 76 episodes to date. And I have a feeling that some of these are also your favorite episode as well. I mean, that's how they made the top 10, right? Unless you are new to the podcast today. And if you are new, welcome. I'm so excited to highlight these top 10. And I want to invite each and every one of you, as you're hearing the highlights of these top 10 episodes, if there's something that piques your interest or gets you excited, go on back and listen to that episode because I have a feeling you are going to get so much out of it. Now, my goal for creating this podcast over a year ago was to simply provide you with natural remedies, protocols, and solutions at your fingertips so that you could make educated decisions about you and your family's health care. I always want to empower you to become the CEO of your own health for yourself first and foremost, and for the people that you love. See, over the last 2 years, I have received thousands of emails and messages asking for more natural remedies and recommendations that can heal your body naturally. And I want to take a moment and say thank you so much for reaching out to me. It was you who inspired me to create this podcast and focus on a massive need that I see right now. Almost every email I received in the last 2 years asked me for advice about hormones, brain fog, fatigue, gut issues, allergies, autoimmunity, self-care, anxiety, pain, weight loss, and so much more. And I have devoted this entire year to cover every single subject that I just mentioned, because I heard you loud and clear. And let me tell you, I am 100% about giving you what you want from some of the best experts in the field. Now, today's amazing anniversary episode is also extra special because we crossed another milestone. And it's just nice to mention these things. It gets me a little excited because that means I'm impacting more lives. But we just crossed over 300,000 downloads this week, which is incredible. That's over 50,000 downloads this month alone. And as a big thank you for listening, I have this wonderful perfect cheat sheet that I created just for you. I have personally gathered all of my most requested women's hormone essential oil blends and compiled them into this simple to use cheat sheet because you know what? I love ease and grace, and you know I love easy. So all you got to do to grab these top 5 favorite blends for things like stress, hot flashes, brain fog, fatigue, and mood swings is to head on over to drmariza.com. That's drmariza.com/hormone blends. You can also find it in the show notes, and you can find it on my website. This is episode 77. So you just got to go to the podcast, which is drmariza.com/podcast, and then just look up episode 77. Now, I want to just take a moment because although this podcast has been happening for a year now, it was actually the inception or the idea of this podcast came together in September of 2017. I had been receiving so many of these emails and realized that I wanted a way to be able to serve you that felt easy. And I am such a podcast listener. I love digesting content in that way. I recognize that I have books out there. We have blogs out there. I create Instagram content. But the podcast felt like the most authentic way for me to share this message. And although it took me from September until March the next year to get this up and running, this has been the most incredible experience, the most wonderful project, and I love Love, love, love doing it every single week. This is the ultimate labor of love that I get to continue to pour my heart and soul into. And I just can't tell you how much fun I'm having. And with the addition of 2 amazing episodes per week, which you guys know is Tuesday and Friday, we are continuing to bring on amazing wellness rock stars who are listening in. And I always want to shine a little spotlight on one particular listener today. Her name is Lisa. I don't have her last name, but Lisa did a little shout out. She shouted out a win on iTunes earlier this month. I just want to share her shout out today. Listening to podcasts was one of my New Year's intentions. I quickly found Dr. Mariza, and she makes me look forward to driving in rush hour traffic. She is so conversational, bubbly, and smart. See, I am new to oils, and I am learning so much. She is even kind. I have sent an email and a DM on IG, and she responds and answers my questions about what oils to use for whatever I'm trying to do. I have been recommending her to my friends. If you want to learn something but feel like your bestie is talking to you, this is what you need to be listening to. Oh, thank you so much, Lisa. You are truly a girl after my own heart. I just so appreciate it. And I just want to thank you so much for sharing your big win about your podcast intention, about seeing it through, and your essential oil journey. I am truly holding space for you to continue to experience all kinds of healing miracles, especially with the oils. And if you're listening today, Lisa, which I hope you are, I would love to gift you a Superwoman blend. And all you got to do is just reach out to me on Facebook or Instagram at Dr. Mariza. That's DrMariza. And I look forward to getting you hooked up, girl. Well, fellow podcast listeners, you know it. I love to shout you out, and I can't wait to shout you out as well. You can reach out to me on Instagram or Facebook, or simply review this podcast on iTunes or whatever podcast platform you are plugging into. That way, not only can I continue to support more women who are stepping into their power and wanting to become the CEO of their health, but I can continue to bring you the best experts and the best content because we've got such great momentum coming. All right, now that I was able to shout you out and talk a little bit about how we continue to create an incredible podcast with you, let's dive into the top 10 episodes here on the Essentially You podcast this year. Number 1, drum roll please. It is episode number 50, Why Loving Your Liver is Key to Hormone Balance. Now, honestly, I am not surprised. This is one of my favorite episodes. And who doesn't want to love up on their liver just a little bit more? We know that it's an absolute fact that toxins are not doing us any good. And it's time that we become proactive about supporting our most important detox organ. Now, while some of us know that loving our liver is key to finding hormone balance or just key to helping to support the body, most of us don't know how to get there. And that's why I am sharing all of my best tips and recipes to support your liver and to ensure your hormones are running like a fine-tuned machine in episode 50. Your liver provides your body with over 500 functions, so it's important to show your liver a little bit of love every single day to keep it functioning properly. Now, in this episode, as I've shared with you, I break down everything from why over-the-counter prescriptions could be silently damaging the liver of yours, although I have a feeling you know that already, all the way to my top essential oil blends to get your liver back on track. You know what was super cool on the book tour that I just finished about a week ago was I met so many women who actually they were carrying the Love Your Liver blend, and I share that blend inside of this episode. So here you go, episode 50, all on how to love your liver the right way. All right, here we go. Number 2. Well, number 2 was episode 46, and it was all about resetting your hormones to lose weight and banish fatigue. Now, this was another favorite of mine. I talk about this all the time because there are so many misconceptions around weight loss and our hormones. Most particularly that people just think that weight loss is calories in versus calories out, and it just doesn't simply work like that. Now, I actually devoted part 3 of my book, The Essential Oils Hormone Solution, to giving you a full-on hormone rescue plan to not only reset your hormones, but to help to reduce gut, liver, and brain inflammation. Because when our hormones are balanced and we quell that inflammation, that stubborn, unrelenting weight that doesn't want to move is going to come right off. And our hormones play a massive role in our inability to drop those extra pounds. So many women like myself, once upon a time have dealt with exhaustion, unexplained stubborn weight, brain fog, crazy cravings, unrelenting stress, and goodness knows all the other things that happen with our hormones. But so often we don't realize that our hormones are really they play a major role here. And that's why I wanted to talk about this episode, because we know that when we can get our hormones back on track, we can make profound changes in a lot of the symptoms that we're dealing with. So if you don't feel like you're at home in your own body and can't seem to recognize the stranger in the mirror like I once did, I remember looking at myself in the mirror like, who is this woman? I want you to know that it is time to make that shift. You can absolutely reset your hormones with just a few natural, effective tools like food, moving that body, supplementation, essential oils, and most importantly, self-care. And that's exactly what we're going to be dropping in this episode, is everything that you're going to want to know, understanding why your hormones are sabotaging you a little bit and how we can get them back on track working for you. Again, that is episode 46 on resetting your hormones to lose weight naturally and banish fatigue. All right, so here is the third rated podcast. It's episode 61 with Dr. Alan Christensen, and it is all about resetting your metabolism and making your liver healthy again in 28 days. I can see a common theme here. We are loving the liver. We're loving the metabolism. And Dr. Alan Christensen, you know what? He is a fan favorite here on the show. He's actually done 2 episodes with me. Both have been so popular. But Alan and I, as you guys should know, we are dear, dear friends. And we have so much fun on these interviews. I like to call it good chemistry. And we are talking about your liver and your metabolism, 2 of the topics that, as you can imagine, I get asked all the time. Now, everybody wants to know the secret code to how to reset their metabolism and fix their weight and energy issue once and for all. And that's exactly what Dr. Alan Christensen does. He is a magician at figuring out the secret, and that is what he's going to be sharing with us in this episode. He literally breaks down how the body works, how to support the liver, and how to get your metabolic flexibility back on track. So if you want to learn a little bit more about how to reset your metabolism, come on in, check out episode number 61 with Dr. Alan Christensen, because he is going to break it down for you. Here we go with number 4. This is episode 52, and it is called The Number 1 Precursor to Hormone Chaos and How to Get Your Body Back on Track. Now, I dropped this episode on New Year's this year because I felt appropriate for creating women's empowerment for 2019. I don't know about you, but it really does feel like our year and the year to make powerful changes. Now, while researching my new book, The Essential Oils Hormone Solution, I discovered that there was this incredible hormone trifecta. 3 simple ways to begin to heal your hormones and get to the root cause of your problems. And in this episode, I am sharing with you all the details of this trifecta and how you can reset your hormones, boost your metabolism, and get your energy back on track. I am also diving into everything from how you can learn to eat for your hormones, to why you should begin implementing self-care literally today, to how to gain deep and restful sleep, and also how to leverage the power of plant-based medicine to help support your hormone and energy levels. So if any of that sounds of interest to you, I want you to go check out episode number 52, The Number 1 Precursor to Hormone Chaos and How to Get Your Body Back on Track. All right, we are going into number 5. And this is all about overcoming brain fog instantly with essential oils and other powerful tools. Now, this is episode 72, which means it wasn't that long ago. It was actually earlier this month. Now, brain fog is a conversation that comes up all the time. And it was such an important thing for me to finally create an episode around this. See, I knew this was a hot topic because so many of us are worried that our brains are on fire with inflammation. And dealing with brain fog can feel very confusing and frustrating. And that is why so many people are looking for answers. And the thing of it is that our very busy, toxic modern world is playing a major role in how our brain is functioning. So in this episode, not only do we explore what the cause of brain fog is so we can change those exogenous toxins and stimulants, but then also what we can bring in terms of supplementation, herbs, and, as you can imagine, essential oils. I share my Brain Fog Be Gone blend in here along with a couple of others, and that is a blend I have with me everywhere. So if you're looking to get into what I call a no-nonsense conversation for curing that brain fog and getting back on track, then episode 72 is right up your alley. And that brings us to number 6. And this is episode number 33. And it is the truth about hormones and essential oils. Now, I don't know about you, but this was one of my favorite episodes because I love to be able to dispel the myths, to have you understand what's really going on with oils and hormones. And really what it comes down to is that these beautiful chemical constituents, this chemistry, has this profound way to communicate and shift our hormones. And not only that, making shifts and making changes inside of our cells. I mean, it is so miraculous what goes down when it comes to the use of essential oils. They are chemical messengers, just like our hormones are chemical messengers. It's really a match made in heaven. And so if you are looking for hormone support, just note that essential oils can radically change how your body functions. These beautiful plant-based remedies can support your endocrine system, your daily self-care habits, and bring your hormones back into balance. Now, what I want you to know is that you're going to be learning the oils that no one should be without. You're also going to be learning oils, how they work, what they do, and I'm going to lay out my top 5 essential oil list in this. So if you want to understand more clearly how oils are working in the body to balance your hormones, this episode number 33, is where it's at. So go on and check that one out. Now here we go to number 7. Now number 7 is episode 44, and it is What Your Doctor Isn't Telling You About Your Thyroid with Dr. Becky Campbell. Now, as you know, we just had an episode this Tuesday with Dr. Isabella Wentz, and she specifically talked about Hashimoto's connected to your thyroid. And with Dr. Becky Campbell in episode 44, we did get to talk about also Hashimoto's, but really even just a sluggish thyroid, because it may not always be an autoimmune condition. It could be other things. And then not only did we lay the groundwork for exactly what is going on with our thyroid, how to test it, but also Dr. Becky Campbell laid out how the thyroid is being misdiagnosed, the dysfunction, the deregulation, really what's going on when it comes to the thyroid, what doctors are missing, what you should be on the lookout for, and then providing easy and simple concepts that you can take to your doctor, that you can ask for so that you get the care and that you've got the protocols that you deserve. So between Dr. Isabella in episode 76 and Dr. Becky Campbell in episode 44, we do really cover a lot of thyroid information. I wanted to also let you know that I am writing right now an episode on my journey with Hashimoto's and the protocols and resources that I have been using on this journey as well, including the foods and the supplements that I've been using to get my body back on track. And I'll be dropping that in the next couple of months, but just be on the lookout for that. I'm in the process of writing it now. As many of you know, it takes me about 5 to 7 hours to write my own episodes. So I am working on that as we speak. So here we go into podcast number 8, episode number 51. And this was with my dear friend, Dave Asprey, and it's how to have more energy to do the things you love, feel good, and age gracefully. I don't know about you, but I want all of those things. So Dave, hook it up. Now on this episode, I join Dave, and Dave's resume needs almost no introduction. He is also a fellow podcaster. He's got the Bulletproof Radio. He's a 2 times New York Times bestselling author. He's the founder of Bulletproof and Bulletproof Coffee. He's the ultimate biohacker. And he he has figured out how to increase energy and finding happiness. We talked about mitochondrial function. We talked about gratitude and what that does for us. We talked about energy. I mean, my gosh, it was such an incredible conversation. So if you want to learn how to get smarter, happier, or faster at what you do at life and become successful in the process, then this is the episode to listen to. Check it out, number 51 with Dave Asprey. We're getting close to the end of this top 10 list, but we are moving into the 9th rated episode. It's episode 66, and it's How to Release Anxiety and Build Confidence with Dr. Joan Rosenberg. Now, the ability to build confidence and master your anxiety is an issue that is becoming ever more urgent and has what's become a near constant pressure cooker of today's society for many of us. Now, Dr. Joan Rosenberg, who is a PhD psychologist, and she is an emotional mastery trainer. I mean, she's incredible. She has 2 TED Talks on how to move through emotions in 90 seconds. And that's exactly what we're going to be talking about. Dr. Rosenberg not only helps us to move through unpleasant emotions in 90 seconds or less, but she also gives us a glimpse on how to develop confidence. Because when people are struggling with unpleasant feelings, they oftentimes don't take those risks to step out of their comfort zones. And that's how she helps us. She helps us break that down and helps us connect in so that we're able to not only get over some of those most crazy unpleasant emotions that we're experiencing, but how we can leverage that into building confidence. I loved this episode, and clearly so did you. It's absolutely worth checking out. Anxiety is such a major concern for so many of us, and I want you to feel like you are empowered with the right tools and the right educators to help you overcome those moments. And here we are, number 10. Now, number 10, our 10th episode, is episode 42. And it is What Happens to Your Hormones in Your 40s and How Progesterone Can Help with Laura Bryden. Now, Laura is a dear friend. She lives in New Zealand. And what's so great about this episode, she's actually the author of the Period Repair Manual. Now, if you're feeling confused about what's happening around your hormones in your 40s, maybe even your late 30s and into your early 50s, this is going to be the episode for you. You know what? This time in our life, this transition can be so confusing and at times can feel very much like limbo for so many women. And that's why I love that Dr. Laura Bryden came here and shared a little bit about how we can transition through this with ease and grace. So as you guys know, perimenopause can be a decade-plus long stage of our lives, and it really shakes things up in our body. But luckily, the stage does not last forever, and Laura has some great tips on helping us come up with some practical solutions for better periods, also how we can manage really heavy periods during perimenopause, leveraging specific adaptogenic herbs, and leveraging potential a little bit of progesterone to get our body back on track. So if this is an area in your life that you want to explore, or maybe you're coming into this time in your life and you want to have a better handle on it, this is going to be the episode for you. And again, it was episode 42 with Laura Bryden. I absolutely love that episode, and I've been inspired to create not the same kind of episode, but I want to dig deeper into perimenopause for you and what it looks like to transition into menopause and how we can do that with ease and grace. And guess what? A lot of it has to do with reducing inflammation. So I'm going to be writing up that episode as well. It's actually going to come out before the Hashimoto's episode in April. Well, there you have it. That is the top 10 episodes of this year, the first anniversary of the Essentially You podcast. So please take a moment and explore an episode that piqued your interest in this top 10 list. As you can see, I'm really beginning to understand what my audience wants. Even just looking at this top 10 list, it gave me so much clarity as to what you are looking for in this podcast. So best believe you're going to see a lot more of that in this coming year. Now, if you want to take a look at that full-on list, we're going to have it in the show notes and in the blog. It's going to be at drmariza.com/episode 77. That way you can just click right into those episodes. Also, if you just go to drmariza.com podcast, you can pull any of the episodes directly from the website if that's the easiest thing for you to do. We have an amazing lineup coming up for you this year, including Dr. Taz, Dr. John Gray, Dr. Peter Osborne, so many more. And I have a list of hot topics that I am going to be curating just for you. Now, if there is a topic that you want to hear from or you want to hear more of, just reach out to me on Facebook and Instagram. Let me know. I'm always interested. I mean, I get a lot of insight from a lot of the episodes we've already done. I know that there's some things that you're just not interested in, and we're not going to be doing that. I want to focus on what you want. Now, before you go, I don't want you to forget to grab that free gift, my top 5 favorite blends for stress, hot flashes, brain fog, fatigue, and mood swings. And all you got to do to grab that gorgeous gift is to head on over to drmariza.com/hormone blends. Again, it's going to be in the show notes, and it's also going to be on episode 77 on the website. Super easy for you to grab, but I can't wait for you to get this beautiful recipe guide into your hands. Start making those blends. And if you do want to take it a step further, you do know that I have hundreds of blends in the Essential Oil Hormone Solution book. So if you were looking for the full kit and caboodle with that part 3 game plan that I talked about earlier in the episode, all you got to do is go and grab my books. It is sold anywhere books are sold. I'll tell you what, it is still selling like hotcakes. I just want to say thank you so much for those of you who've already bought it. Well, thank you again for stopping by and listening into the Essentially You podcast. On the next episode, I am featuring a dear friend, Dr. Debbie Silber. Now, she is my go-to post-betrayal syndrome expert, and we're talking about how your biggest crisis reveals your greatest gifts. This is going to be a phenomenal episode. If you've ever felt betrayed or still feel stuck in that betrayal, Dr. Debbie Silber is the expert, and she has a process to help move you out of that stuck place. So I can't wait to bring this episode to you. Until then, have an amazing week. Go check out some of those top 10 episodes, and I can't wait to see you on the next show.